kind of like this. I don't like light. Sunlight actually gives me migraines. It's a weird little thing. So this room tends to be dark, and it's overcast, so it's particularly dark in this room. And I've been trying to find a decent enough solution. Literally, the only light source in this room is the monitor, and every time I turn to something dark, my entire screen goes dark. It's like I'm in a dark room because I'm in a dark room. And I've been working on a lighting solution, and this is the closest I've come up to a solution. And this is too much. One, that's too much, and two, it doesn't look very. Oh wait, maybe we put it behind something. Alright, we'll run with this. See how this goes. Let's give this a try. Fuck it. We'll work with it. Okay. I wanted to talk about. I read 2 comics recently. God, this looks so odd. Oh well, whatever. I read 2 comics recently. I just did a video about the first one, which I didn't like very much. The second one was Dreaming #1. It's after the Sandman Universe #1. I guess it's the sort of the first real entry, the first solid entry of an ongoing series in the Sandman universe. The premise of Sandman #1 is that, well, it just continues the story we saw in Sandman Universe #1. It's kind of a continuation of that. It leapfrogs directly from that into the rest of the storyline, which is, in other words, the storyline we saw in Sandman Universe #1 is Dream of the Endless is missing, or at least his most recent incarnation. Bad stuff is happening. How did the characters interact? It's #1 of what is clearly intended to be a long, ongoing series. So consequently, it's a lot of character introduction or reintroduction. Some of these characters haven't been in a lot of comics in years and years and years. Some of them like a decade or so, or more. This is just obnoxious. This isn't going to work. I'm giving up on the light. I'll sit in the darkness. It's fine. So I knew this comic book going into it was going to be a lot of character development. It was going to be a lot of, here's the characters, here's kind of the situation. It's not going to be as much action and things happening, but we'll go from there. The next couple comics will be better. And it is okay. I like parts of it a lot. Parts of it that I think were supposed to make me laugh didn't make me laugh as much, but they did put a smile on my face. I'm very coded for this. I'm more than a little biased for a Sandman comic, but at the same time, it's fairly well written, and there's some nice hooks in it. There's a lot of, here's a thing that's going on. Why is this thing going on? Where does this lead? Like sort of a thing, sort of micro cliffhangers that get you to read the next issue, and I think they work. I think most of them work pretty well. Like, I'm interested to see where we're going. We have a character with a mysterious origin and mysterious qualities. What is this character going to do? What are they like? How is the mystery of them revealed and unfolded? What does that mean in relation to the other things happening in the comic book? So it's a number of balls being juggled at the same time, and it makes you want to know a bit more about what's going on, about who these other characters are, and how they're going to interact with this. I want to be a little bit vague. I don't want to spoil this, because it's actually a good comic. I recommend reading it. This one I liked. I'll probably read it again, just because it was a good comic. So, Simon Spurrier's a good writer. His writing comes across as very credible. There's not a huge amount of action. There are a couple, I'm going to call them subversive plot devices. One didn't really work for me. I kind of saw it coming a mile away. The other actually did. Like, I didn't see it, but it was okay. Overall, I thought the comic book was pretty good. It wasn't the most groundbreaking thing ever, but I'd be more than happy to give this another chance. I'd give this read issue #2 for a couple reasons. One, the writing is pretty good. 2, while the story wasn't off the wall fantastic, it didn't blow my mind. It did very much feel like a middle of the run issue of Sandman or the original Dreaming when that came out. Like it felt very familiar, and it had that sort of surreal whimsy that I've been accustomed to for Vertigo titles back in the 90s and the early aughts, mostly the mid to late 90s in particular. So it was very familiar. It was a bunch of characters I like being the characters I like by and large. Merv, the pumpkin guy, the Raven, Lucian. Didn't really see a lot of the other characters. One of the new characters, and like I said, it's issue number 1 of what's meant to be a long, ongoing series. So there's a lot of groundwork that needs to be done, and this issue it's happening. So it's not a super exciting issue, but it's a pretty good issue. The writing is good, and it feels like a Sandman comic. It was very satisfying. Like I said, I think there were some bits that were supposed to make me laugh. They didn't really succeed, but overall the comic did make me. I mean, I was very conscious of the fact that I was smiling while reading it. It's like, oh, this feels familiar and fun. I'm glad I got this. So I'd recommend getting the Dreaming #1. It's a good start. We'll see how well it goes, but all in all, this feels like a proper beginning for a new run of Vertigo titles.